I received a request for child support from a woman I've never met. I am a cisgender woman and have never had children. I reached out to a good friend of mine who has a lawyer aunt, who conveniently handles family cases. After I told her the situation, she laughed and said she'd do it pro bono just for the entertainment. Apparently she knows the other attorney and says he's a Richard Head, so I guess that's a benefit for me since she was more than happy to represent me. We met with the attorney, showed my BC, ID, passport and adoption papers. The attorney was frustrated with his client, but very kind with myself and my attorney about it. He apologized for the inconvenience. The whole thing was dismissed and, while my attorney initially suggested an order of protection, because clearly this woman was unwell as while we were in the office she was saying that I was a man who had intimacy changed to dodge support, which is why she referred to me as he, and said I make more than enough money and my money belongs to her and our child. We ultimately decided against the restraining order as after all of the insanity, she was honest about how all this came about. She, myself and my male cousin used to work in the same place. Over a decade ago. He is the father of her child, as apparently they had known each other for years prior, but he is also now a convicted violent felon, an offender who slept with multiple people under 18, a drunk driver and murderer, who is currently incarcerated. They are the same age and they went to school together in the next town over. Since she had access to my cousin, she was able to link my cousin to his father, which led to my mother as he has her listed as a sister. My mother was always my emergency contact so she has access to the information. She said since she was able to get my contact information in the easiest way, she figured she could throw a suit at me, get a DNA test, then leave back to him and she would try to go over him. And sue my uncle for support, as he retired from a good job and has disposable income and my cousin is incarcerated. No, I don't understand her thought process because honestly, I have no idea how any of this works or if that is even a thing she could possibly do. Also, she said she was recently fired, which is why this came up now, and since she knew my cousin was incarcerated and she needed money, she found me via our last name and made a copy of my resume and important info in my file. After all of the theatrics and chaos she said she finally decided to give up the fight because she realized she couldn't win. Especially once I presented my paperwork. As that's when she realized there was zero chance that the DNA test would get her where she wanted with everything.